Hello, lovelies!
Hi.
Welcome back to our final episode of Making Socks with Sari and Melissa.
I'm Sari.
I'm Melissa. This is my sock.
This is my sock.
Okay, so my sock is on 2 circular needles. Sorry about the camera jiggle. My sock's on 2 circular needles, and
I have DPNs, double pointed needles.
because we wanted to show you 2 ways to make the same sock going from the cuff down. So we've done our cuff and our leg, and we have this little class socks. We did our cuff here, this is the ribby part, and our leg. We did our heel flap and turn, and we picked up stitches along our gusset, knitted at our foot, and now we're ready to our toe box, decreases and Kitchener stitch to close up the toe. And this is your first time Kitchener, right?
Yeah, I have not done any socks ever, so I'm learning with you.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's gonna get hot in the kitchen. Okay, so if you do have questions after the videos are over and you still need help, please feel free to send us a message at lovelyarns@gmail.com and we'll do our best to help you out.
We also check our Facebook messages.
Mm-hmm, we do. We check our Facebook messages. We do check Instagram messages, not as frequently as
we
the
check it,
Facebook,
but we don't get many.
Yeah, we don't get many Instagram messages. We do get quite a few Facebook messages. So any questions that you may have, please reach out to us and we will do our best to help you through. Okay, so now we're going to turn it around and show you how to do our sock decreases for the toe. Well, how to do the decreases for the toe of your sock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What she said.
Okay, so we want to do our toe decreases, and I was just telling Sari before I turned the camera on what we were doing.
Yep.
So here's your heel, and you want your toe to angle this way. So there's 2 directional decreases that we're going to be doing again. So we'll do slip, slip, knit on this side to angle in so it faces towards the left. And then on this side, we'll do knit 2 together. And when we turn it over, then it's slip, slip, knit, and knit 2 together. So then now, if you're on 2 circs like I am, this one on the top that has your instep stitches will be needle 1. So you're going to knit 1, slip, slip, knit these 2 stitches together all the way till there's 3 stitches from the end, knit 2 together, knit 1. You don't want your decreases right next to each other because you get like a weird hole in the ladder.
Yeah.
And it looks, it doesn't look good.
No.
And then on the underside, on the foot, we'll do the same. Knit 1, slip, slip, knit all the way across till there's 3, then knit 2 together, knit 1. Okay, and then on Sari's, she's got her heel. Okay, so this was needle 1, so you're gonna go, this is the heel. So now this becomes needle 1. So she's gonna knit to here. Actually, it's so confusing on DPNs because you have to think. So this was your needle 1 on the bottom. So it was 1. So here's our heel. So it was 1, and then the instep stitches are needles 2 and 3, and then the other half of her heel has become needle 4. But when we're doing our decreases for the toe, the instep needles become needles 1 and 2, and the heel needles become 3 and 4. So you'll knit plain to here, and you'll begin your new round on what will now be needle 1, which used to be needle 2.
Oh, sure.
Okay. Well, because we have I have written directions that folks can download as a free PDF where you plug in the measurements and stuff, and you want to do your same knit 1, slip, slip, knit here, knit all the way across, knit to 3 stitches from the end, knit 2 together, knit 1. And we'll do a decrease round and a plain round until half the stitches are gone.
So I do a decrease here and here.
And then you'll do it here
and then I do it again here and here. So I'm just going to do that 1 needle's worth of stitches to get to here.
Yes.
Okay.
So you'll just knit to here. So you begin your new round on what will now be needle 1. because if you recall when we were doing the gusset decreases, this was needle 1.
Yes.
But now for the toe, because you want them to be half and half. Right? And you don't want to begin and end
at a weird spot.
Exactly, because you want to have the same number of stitches. So normally you'd have like a whole bunch, right? And so you'd go till there's half as many stitches. We'll decrease half as many stitches, where you do a decrease round and a plain round. So now we've got 8 on each needle. We'll decrease till there's 4 on each needle.
Okay.
And then you decrease every round until there's 2 on each needle.
Okay.
And then we'll kitchen those together.
Okay.
When you have a bigger sock, there's more stitches.
Yeah.
But this is a tiny sock, so you get a wee little toe. Okay. So let's show the people how it is done. So Sari's knitting to the end of what used to be her needle 1, but now is needle 4. I know it's confusing. I'm sorry for the confusion, but sometimes, it'll make sense when you're doing it.
Yep.
More sense when you're doing it than when you talk about it. So, okay, so we've got, going to do our, get my string. Okay. So we've got our
dueling
knit 1, and then the slip knit is you slip 2 stitches as if to knit, and then insert your left needle into the front of those 2 stitches on your right needle, and we knit them together as if they are one. We should be really good at slip knit and knit 2 together, since we did so many to decrease.
Yes.
For the gusset.
Yes.
And then, okay, we're gonna.
Okay, so now I'm there.
Okay, so now we're gonna knit across.
So knit 1.
Bring your hands in to show to folks. Your knit 1.
Well, I didn't want to hit you.
I'll move out of your way.
Slip. Slip. Nope. Knit. And make sure not to split your yarn when you do so.
Yeah.
Which, depending on the yarn you're using, might be an easier or a harder thing to pull off.
Right, sometimes it gets splitty. So then now I've knitted across, so I did my knit 1, my slip knit. You can see it actually leaning to the left. It's kind of cool. Knit across here, look.
Like leaning toward pizza.
Exactly. And then I've got 3 stitches left. I'm gonna knit 2 together and knit 1. So let's do it. Stick our needle in there and knitting 2 together and knit 1.
So
okay.
I'm at 3 stitches. Get it through the correct stitches.
Okay, you got your knit 2 together and then your knit 1.
And then knit 1.
Okay, so then now we're on the stitches that are the foot, the bottom of the foot of our sock, our heel stitches as they were.
The butt.
Yeah. And again, we're going to do the same thing we did on our instep stitches. So we begin with
hello.
Yeah, it's the light on the timer. So we've got our knit 1, and then we're doing our slip. Notice I'm slipping as if to knit, slip, and
stick back in,
stick it in, and then knit the 2 stitches together. That's our SSK. And now we're going to knit all the way till there's 3 left, and then we'll knit 2 together, knit 1. Yeah, so we'll get over to the end. Yeah. Okay, so now we're at 3 stitches from the end, and we are going to knit 2 together.
Very carefully.
And knit 1.
Oh, come on.
And that is the end of our decrease round. So now we're going to do a plain round. So remember, you're going to do a decrease round and a plain round until you have half the number on each of your, half the number of stitches that you started with on your needles. Okay, so we will see you back when we have half the number of stitches that we started with on our needles. Okay, so now we're back and I have 4 stitches on one needle and I've got 4 on the other. And then Sari has 4 on one DPN and 4 on a second DPN. So she did end up, she had 2 on each of 4, but we moved them around so that way she's got 4 on one and 4 on the other. And to do our Kitchener stitch, we're going to turn the work so you have your working yarn coming from the right, and you've got a needle in the front and a needle here in the back. And then on my 2 circs, I have a needle in the front and one in the back, and my working yarn also is coming from the right. So to recap our decreases, even though it's just moments ago for you, what we did was we did a decrease round and then a plain round until we ended up with half as many stitches as we started. And then we did a decrease round every round until we had half as many stitches again. So I started out with 32 and then went from 32 stitches to 16, and then from 16 stitches to 8, which is what I have now. So Kitchener stitch. I know this is something that mystifies many. And so I'm going to show you how to do it. It's not that hard, but it can be a little confusing. A lot of people always have to look it up every time they go to start a project. But we're going to do it together. So, and I only have a few stitches, so this will go quickly. So to start off our Kitchener stitch, we're going to pretend like our tapestry needle here. So I just cut a length of yarn long enough to sew through the grafting, the invisible grafting on my toe, and to leave a 6-inch tail at the end. So that's 3 times the length of my seam plus approximately 6 inches. So I'm going to take my tapestry needle, which you see is threaded with the working yarn, and on the front of your Kitchener, the thing is like you knit off purl, purl off knit. So we're going to start, we're setting up with a purl. So we insert our needle as if to purl. Make sure it doesn't get stuck around the needle in the back. So go through as if to purl and leave it on. And then the first stitch on our back needle, we're going to go in. See, I've got my working yarn between the 2 needles. Go into the first stitch on the back knitting needle as if to knit. And we're going to leave that on. Now I'm back to the needle, first stitch number 1 on my front needle. I'm going to go in as if to knit, and I'm going to take the stitch off the end of the knitting needle and pull it snug. Then the following stitch, I want to go in as if to purl, and we're going to leave it on. See, pull it snug. So not like strangle tight, but just snug. Now on our needle in the back, we're going to purl. So we've gone in as if to purl, so we're going to purl off, pull it tight, and then keep the yarn between the 2 needles, and then we're going to knit and leave it on. See, got the snugness again. And then on the front, back to the front, we're going to knit off, get the needle in there, so knit off, and then purl, and we're gonna leave it on. And then on the back, we're gonna take the stitch, we're gonna purl off, and then we're gonna knit and leave it on. And then in the front, we're going to knit off. Come on. Get the needle in there. There we go. So we've got it in as if to knit, slide it off, pull snug, go into the last stitch as if to purl, and we're going to leave it on. And then on my back needle, I'm going to purl this one off, pull snug, last stitch, going to go in as if to knit, leave it on. Now I've got last stitch, and you go, what do I do on my last stitch? All right, got the answer. You ready? We are going to knit off the front stitch. So go in as if to knit, pull it off. Bam. Then the back stitch, we're gonna go in as if to purl. Whoop. Slide your knitting needle out of there. Boom. Done. Look at that. And it's like invisible. So it does have like this little ear. You say, what do I do about that ear? Well, now, look at our cute little sock. Look at it. So here it is from the side. So you can see, look, we've made ourselves a sock. Look how cute that is. Okay, so what to do about that ear? I'm gonna take this and I wanna poke. See right over here? I'm gonna poke that with my tapestry needle. I'm gonna pull my sock inside out. Pull my tapestry needle, I'm gonna pull it tight. So I've actually pulled the stitch in. See, so now my sock is inside out. So you slide it on my hand. Okay, sock is inside out, and now I can go ahead and I can sew in my ends. So I can do my zigzag sewing in at ends. Come on. Let's make a Z, or like an N, I suppose. Zigzag. Because then it seems to hold pretty well. And come on, get under there. We're arguing with our yarn today. And then we'll turn it around. Now we can go back the other direction. 1, 2, and just shove it in there. Okay, that'll work. Loop. All right, and then somewhere, aha, here we go. Scissors, and cut. And you would sew in this end too before you give this sock away. But look, so now we turn it back side, right side out. And most importantly, we have a little sock. So look, this is our toe that we grafted, our little toe. And look, it doesn't have an ear sticking out anymore. And we see our sock from the side. And then there it is. Voila! A sock! Hooray! We are done! You've done it! You've made a sock! All right. Thank you guys so much for your patience. I know this last installment of our sock tutorial has been a long time coming, but finally we've got it together. Again, thank you so much for watching, being a part of Team Lovely. And if you have any questions, if you need help, just shoot us an email at lovelyarns@gmail.com. You can find us on Facebook, Lovelyarns LYS, or you can find us on Twitter at Lovelyarns, all one word with one Y, and on Instagram at Lovelyarns. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and happy stitching!